everyone, this is Dwight Braswell, founder of Bunny to Bear, where we are helping you find the courage, confidence, and conviction to become the person you're meant to be. We're back with Motivational Monday. Welcome back. And today we're talking about the 5 questions to help you find your calling. This week on Facebook, I was inspired. I was pleasantly shocked and just blown away by the engagement. And the top quote this week on the Facebook page, Dwight Braswell fan Facebook page, was this: "This is my calling. The moment you know you're in the right place, doing the right things at the right time, be grateful and keep going." And I want to encourage you to not only find your calling, but use these 5 questions to determine, hey, maybe you found it, but is this really it? And if so, thank God for that and keep going. Now's the time to really accelerate and really embrace who you are. All right, so this takes us to the land of Bunny and Bear. Back to the tale of 2 tales. So Bunny, in the middle of the night, he wakes up and he has this revelation, this moment of clarity, right? He just, boom, wakes up. He says, I got it. This is it. This is what I'm meant to do. No longer can I live in the box, chasing those carrots, on the treadmill, constantly being the yes. No, I've got to break out of the box, be out in the world, exploring, and then I've got to help other people do the same. Well, he's excited. He wants to share this with somebody else. It's the middle of the night. He doesn't care. He bolts across the street to Bear's house. Boom, 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 boom. Bear's like, I've got it. I've got it. I know what I'm meant to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. He says, come on in. But he says, how do I know if this is it? How do I know that this is not just some kind of moment and then it'll pass and then I'll find something else later? How do I know that this is really what I'm meant to do? And so Bear takes him through 5 questions that his dad, Papa Bear, took him through when he was very young to help him have some clarity about where he was going, what his direction was, and what his purpose for life was. And I'm going to take you through those questions right now. And as I say in the blog post, I really want you to take time with these 5 questions. You know, you could easily just throw these out and, just kind of say them to yourself, but it really takes reflection time and writing these out. Otherwise, what happens is, okay, I kind of go through one thing and I'm like, okay, I'm doing great. And then the moment passes and then I jump to something else and then I jump to something else. What we want to do is we want to stop the boat. We want to stop the train and we want to say, where am I at my best? Where should I be? What do I belong to? Where should I be focused on, right? And the only way I can do that is to take some real time. So in other activities, other exercises, I've said, hey, just go through it really quick. Throw everything you could think of out. Not with this. So let's really dive in and focus in. Get your pen, paper out, Evernote, whatever it is, and let's go to town. The 5 questions to help you find your calling. Number 1, when am I at my best? When am I at my best? So if you've ever read the book Good to Great by Jim Collins, he comes up with something called the Hedgehog Principle, the Hedgehog Concept, right? And one of the main questions, there's 3 questions he asks that are part of that. And it's kind of a Venn diagram. And in there it says, not only like, when am I at my best? No, what could I be the best in the world at? Okay? So think of those 2 questions. When am I at my best? Or what could I be the best in the world at? So when am I at my best? So is it when I'm up in front of people? You know, me as a trainer, as a speaker, I am at my best when I'm in front of people and I'm sharing and I'm interacting and I'm engaging with people. That's what I'm best at. Are you best at analyzing numbers? Maybe as a parent. Maybe building something new. I say here in the story that the bear, he was all about creating something new out of nothing. He was the problem solver. He could go out into the world, find problems, and create the solution right away to make people, right, not only engage, but to make lives easier. What is your best moment? Okay? What could you be the best in the world at? Because if you're spending all your time with something that you're only going to be mediocre at, it's not going to work. I remember Condoleezza Rice in I believe it was an Oprah special. She said, I went to school for piano, and I was going to be a concert pianist. That was what I wanted to do. But then I saw how good everybody else was, and I realized that I would never be the best in the world at it. So I decided that's not it. She went and joined the debate team. And that is what she could be the best in the world at. Nobody could beat her. And now we know who she is, right? So being very self-aware, as we're on this theme of self-awareness, knowing and thinking, when am I at my best? Question number 2, what do I love to do? Yeah, I could be the best in the world at playing an instrument, but if I hate it, it's not my calling. If I'm a teacher, I could be the best in the world. But if every day I walk in with this fear, this wall of doubt, this hatred for what I'm doing, I shouldn't be doing it. In sales, if you could be the best salesperson in the world, you're closing constantly, but you walk out every day hating yourself or feeling like crud, it's not your calling. What do I love to do? I love to experience new things. I love creating content. So for me, I love creating content, something new and exciting for people to just, oh my gosh. I love watching people have an aha moment. In real estate, we love when someone sees the house that they're meant to live in and they get the glow. I love that. What do you love to do? Number 3 is, when do I experience flow? So Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, awesome philosopher, psychologist, who created the concept of flow. So flow, let me just tell you what that is. It is a moment when you are in complete immersion with what you're doing, such that you almost cease to exist. And you can almost stand outside of yourself in a state of ecstasy, where you're doing something for hours and hours, but yet it only feels like a minute or two has gone by. You're in a complete state of flow. So when do you experience flow? I'll tell you, when I'm up in front of a group, I'll remember the moment before, and I'll remember the moment after. But usually I say, what just happened? I almost black out. And that's because I'm at such a high level. I take myself to a higher level, and you've experienced that as well. When you're doing what you're meant to do, when you're in your calling, there becomes this moment of happiness where you're so immersed that you don't even realize you're doing it. Your subconscious mind is completely in control, and you're out of control. It's fantastic. When have you experienced that? Take time to reflect and sit back and think about it. If the job that you have right now is not getting you excited about these 3 questions, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time for a different direction. And we'll talk about it in just a minute. Well, Dwight, I don't think you understand my circumstance. Of course I do. I do understand that there are challenging times. There are times where you're stuck. There are times when there's nothing you can do. But there are things that you can start to move in the direction that maybe in a year, 2 years, whatnot, you can make some changes. But you are way too incredible, built for something more, to just be stuck where you are. No one is meant to be stuck where they can look at these questions and say, that's not me. Let's keep going. Number 4, what excites me and makes me want to stay up all night or wake up early? Bunny was experiencing this because he was doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over for years, and constantly just doing whatever anybody else said to get a carrot. He'd take the carrot, then he'd go back into motion and just keep on the tread. And when he was able to break out and see a sunset for the first time and a sunrise and see nature and actually experience the world, it shocked him to a point where it excited him every day. What excites you every single day? We're not talking at such a high level that's not attainable. This is something that you absolutely can experience. And then number 5 is, what do people know you for? What do people know you for? Am I going to go into something that's completely different, that no one knows me for, that's kind of completely out of my element just because? No, like what's your brand? What do people know and think of you as? With me, I mean, people think of me as what, a trainer, someone who's helping them out, got the energy, all this excitement, whatnot. What do people see you as? I'm not saying, what do they want for you? Oh, you need to be the doctor, so that's it. No. But are you seen as the person who brings the energy? Are you the one that people go to for help, coaching, for mentorship on a certain topic, right? It's usually when other people are saying, man, this is the person that belongs on the football field. It's a natural progression in that way, right? They absolutely should be building their own business. They're so innovative. They're always thinking about solutions. They're constantly analyzing what should come next. Oh, the strategic thinker. What do other people see you as? And this helps to start answering some of those questions. I go to my wife and I ask her all the time, what do you think, where should I be going? Because sometimes they can see things that maybe I don't see. Okay? So have that be part of the conversation when you're talking about where's my calling, what is my calling. I remember my dad was called to be a preacher. He's a minister, he's a chaplain in the Air Force, and it was actually my mom who felt like this is what they were meant to do. And she went to him strong and said, I believe that this is it. This is where we're meant to go. This is what we're supposed to do. This is the calling that I'm feeling. And so he thought about it, he prayed about it, he really dug in, really started to reflect, answer these questions and say, you know what? I think that's it. And they completely changed the course of their life. They went off in that direction, and it's been incredible. So it's okay to involve people in a healthy way. In a healthy way. Now these 5 questions, it brings me back to this. I love how Jim Collins from Good to Great adds one other element to the Hedgehog Principle when he talks about what are you passionate about? What could you be the best in the world at? And then he says, what can you make money with? The economic piece, okay? Because I could love to be a volunteer. I mean, it could be my calling to be a volunteer, but if it's not going to pay my bills, if it's not going to at least reach a minimum economic platform, then maybe that's just a piece of your calling. Not that money is the number one. I remember Csikszentmihalyi, the guy who created Flow, he talks about over a period of 30 to 40 years, economic growth, the income increased by over 30%, 50% in certain areas. Incomes were going from 60,000 to 150, 60,000. They were going from 20,000 to, right? But the happiness levels stay the same. So we know that it's not just about money. My calling can't just be about where the money is. But at the very end, and that's why I saved it for the end, I have to, when I'm thinking about my calling, when I'm getting excited about it, I have to include that in the conversation. So don't let it be the only thing that pushes you in one direction or another. But what can I, after I ask myself these 5 questions? Number 1, when am I at my best? Number 2, what do I love to do so much that I'd want to do that every single day, right? When you're doing what you love to do, you're not working a day in your life, right? When do I experience flow? I love that flow. What excites me so much that it keeps me up all night or makes me want to get up right 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning? What is that? And then what do people know me for? And then when I go back and I look at it, I have to think about that hedgehog principle and say, what also can help me at least maintain a consistent, steady income economics so that I'm not struggling, so that I'm comfortable. And when I put all that together, I find my calling. So if you feel like you have that moment, you've got it, you already know that this is what I'm supposed to do, then confirm it by going through this exercise. If you're constantly like, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Look, it's not about the meaning of life. No, but there's something bigger. There's something better out there. And maybe you're stuck. Maybe you feel like, Dwight, you don't understand. I can't change what I'm doing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can start making small decisions right now. Small little decisions right now that will help you start to move toward what you're meant to be doing. And those small decisions could be, maybe I'm doing something after. Maybe I'm looking outside. Maybe I'm having conversations with people that are in that world that I think, man, that's where I should be. I'm starting to have coffee. I'm starting to take them to lunch. What are they experiencing? And then I can confirm, yes, that is what I'm supposed to do. And how can I transition? I'm not going to quit my job today, but how can I start transitioning over to that? Maybe I'm not going to leave my relationship right this second, but maybe there's something over there that I'm supposed to be doing and I cannot be in the box any longer. You've spoken and you've said, boy, when you find that calling, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing at the right time, and that time is now, no longer will you be held back doing something that you're not meant to do. It's not going to happen any longer. It's time to stop living life as a bunny and wake up and be the bear. I encourage you, have the courage to do it. Have the confidence to know that you can and the conviction to know that you're going to be okay no matter what. You will get through it. I hope that you continue to reach out on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. And please reach out to me individually. You can send me a note anytime and I'll respond personally. I'm here to help in any way that I can. It is our time to lift others. And before we can lift others, we must lift ourselves. So find and confirm your calling by going through these 5 questions. And I hope you have an incredible week. Here's to your success. I'll see you next time.